I'm Anthony Forrest, the president of Steel Cod, and I'm here with John Beresford, our VP of Sales, ready to discuss all things appliances. All right, John, you came across a new product, the HotLogic Hot Shelf, and sent me the link. I thought it was kind of interesting. Okay, they're saying they're going to be reinvent cooking, put the food in, no controls, just walk away. That is kind of the definition of overpromise. So where do you see this going? What do you think about this product? Is this something to really pay attention to? Is this something that's going to work? Where are you on this?
So for me, and listen, that was an article that was written in Twice Magazine, who we love. We read all their stuff. But this is one of those ideas that sounds smarter, kind of the longer that you talk about it. There you go. And really weaker the moment you put it into a real kitchen environment, right? And, it's not so much of what they're bringing to the market as the way that it's being framed is just super confusing to me.
I mean, what's confusing about set it and forget it? Seems pretty simple to me.
I mean, if you look at it, there's no controls, right? The software is really kind of left to decide everything for you. It's cooking to serving temperature, it's holding it, it's doing all of those things. And that language right there that I just read off, that's the problem, okay? Because customers don't think that cooking is stupid, right? And they think that it's situational. And, to me, at least from what I read, and let's be fair to HotLogic, right? Because they have been in the market for a long time, just not this market, right? So what HotLogic is really selling here isn't cooking at all. It's really just holding, and to me, that distinction matters quite a bit, right? They exist in the commercial space, right? I mean, so they have a ton of traction in commercial break rooms and all that kind of stuff. And to me, that's a really strong part of their story. But in commercial environments, something like this is going to make perfect sense because food becomes super predictable and your known containers and no customization of any sort. There's really just a real low level of liability there. And that's why it works in there. But residential kitchens aren't break rooms. I mean, they're super messy and they're crazy emotional and they're full of all these exceptions and edge cases that just could make this as just a catastrophe, if it's not handled correctly.
So you feel like this is a stay in your lane situation for this product and this brand?
I think so. Look, if you look at the claims, right, it can cook raw food and frozen food and pre-cooked food, and it never overcooks anything, even though they're all in there together at the same time. And they'll give you better textures than microwaves, and they won't use any energy and all this kind of stuff. Okay, those are your claims. But to me, cooking everything at 165 degrees and holding it there, there really is no intelligence there behind this, right? I don't see the revolution story here. It's really just, it's showing a great level of constraint, which I don't think is unimportant. But, while it's avoiding overcooking, it's also eliminating the opportunity for browning or texture development or variation, right? I mean, this isn't replacing ovens and it's not replacing ranges and it's definitely not replacing microwaves for the vast majority of people. So yes, it's a very specific tool in my mind that's really kind of pretending to be this food revolution.
Interesting. Okay. A very specific tool. So it could have a place, but it's not replacing anything.
I mean, I don't see how it is, right? I mean, for something that requires this level of forethought, right? And counter commitment, let's not forget about that. These things are big, special containers, lifestyle changes, all of this kind of stuff. Those are major hurdles because, the issue here is that you're asking customers to change their behaviors first and accept that this is going to do it, and then promising the simplicity of the whole thing later. And that, as we know, is completely backwards. You can't go into a market that does that. This does have a place, though, to answer your question, right? I mean, these large households and staggered meal times and senior living, assisted living, places like that, that's where a product like this can shine. And I think that's really where this whole thing should live. It's not about AI cooking as far as I'm concerned in terms of their success. It's really about safe, predictable, low stress meal management, right? So if they leaned into elder care and these multi-shift families and meal services and things like that, like this would be really a compelling niche product. But calling it the future of cooking is really just confusing everybody.
So it's south of cooking, north of warming. So it's somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I mean, when you oversell scope like that, you're creating the skepticism for yourself, right? Even when the technology works, and I'm not here to say that the technology doesn't work, but I can definitely tell you that this isn't stupid proof cooking as far as the article led to. It's really, it's it's holding food without having to make a decision on how to fold it and hold it, and that's still valuable, but it's not revolutionary.
Interesting. Dying to see if they send us one to see if we can see if it finds out. We know someone who's willing to test it.
Not after this.
All right. Thanks, John. We drop a new episode every day of the week, including weekends. Don't forget to rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.